There was a guy here last stream that died. We gave him a bunch of scales and they turned Fisk. Well, no, I should have done him. He seemed like a pretty bad guy, but what can you do? Right, so. Right, Ard. Welcome. Yeah, the pot mid. That's why you don't do pots, kids. You might acquire carb scales and turn into a fucking Fisk. Drugs are scary and dangerous. So, we have some loose ends. I wonder if we locked ourselves out of one of the options for the endings. Would not be super surprising. Because I forgot to turn in the whatchamacallit. The two Serpent Viscera in the Sanctum. Because we kinda just barreled along towards the Demon of Hatred and stuff. I wonder if we can still do that at this point. Hello? Oh, it seems like we can still do it. Nice.
2つの蛇垣を手に入れられたのですか?
ああ、手に入れた。
この赤き様、確かに柿とはよく申したものですね。
誠に食らうのか?
もちろんです。そうすれば我が体は流飲をお返しするためのゆりかごとなりましょう。ただ、
Hey man, you gotta eat what
あ
you
な
gotta
た
eat.
の前でそれをするのははばかられます。時を置いてまたおいでください。
We don't want to add a proper eating animation for something that weird, so let's quickly do a little rest here. Oof. Door doth be closed. Let's not maybe listen to the full extent of that. Right then. She is appearing in pain. Sure, that went super well. What could possibly go wrong if you eat a dried and a fresh serpent? Like liver or whatever the fuck we gave her? Heart, most likely.
巫女の忍び、そこにいらっしゃるのですか?
お主、目が。
やはりいらしてくださったのですね。巫女の忍び。
This may surprise you to hear, but Bloodborne does not exactly
ゆりかごとなれたようです。
serve as a good measuring stick for what is or isn't
取って
normal.
いただけますか?
Most people consider the goings on in Bloodborne pretty
ひ
unnormal.
んやりと氷室のようでございましょう。
An ice house? How oddly specific.
ほら、私の涙もこぼれ落ちる間にいてついてしまう。
Lady, that is pretty
この
weird.
氷涙をお授けしましょう。
Frozen tears. Tears that were shed by the divine child of rejuvenation once she became the cradle. They are but frozen drops. By having Kuro drink both the dragon tears and frozen tears, the cradling ritual can be performed. Cold dragon tears are just that.
氷涙か。もしや。
はい、おそらくは冷たい竜の涙が指すのは竜の涙とともにこの氷涙を飲んでいただくことかと。さすればきっとクロウ様にゆりかごに宿っていただくことが叶うでしょう。
She's kinda talking about it in a weird way, but she is weirdly suggesting to have this kid inside of her, yes, if I am not mistaken. Bit odd, at the very least. So we're supposed to meet Kuro out in the field of... What did they call it? Field of Silver? Silver Reeds something? So we can go there if we want to finish the game. However, there are a few tiny things that we're missing out on. We still have one of these Chimichanga warriors to kill over here. I'm not sure which the best place to start that from would be. Probably from here. We also have a few prayer beads left. I think we have one. And we need 4. So there are 3 that are missing. Alright, DK and AFK DK mates, what are now suddenly experiencing Sekiro. Welcome aboard. Who do I best get up there? I mean, we did end pretty abruptly, and I still needed a few minutes to set up anyway, so it would have been awkward either way. NP. Maybe this is not the place to get there. I think I need to be up by that waterfall. So let's go and teleport one level higher. Actually, we can probably go up to this one. And then go back through the door. Well, to be fair, even if it wasn't the euphemism of carry him in her heart, how would that even, like, let's not describe it too graphically, but how the fuck would she otherwise carry him inside of her? Like, even if you try to go a sort of not great route, how would that physically, like, spatially even, like, make any semblance of sense? Well, I mean, there's a difference between, oh, your body is cold and is now crying ice, versus suddenly you insert another person entirely into your body. Like, not a bit of it, not like, oh, I'll take his heart or something. Like, nope, the entire guy just is all the way gone in the quote-unquote cradle. It's weird either way. So I don't know. Xenomorph, yeah, maybe. Kuro, not Kuro. It's the name of the divine child. Or of the heir of the divine dragon, bullshit or something. I accidentally aggroed him before I was done buffing, that was not great. So he might just die here immediately. Pretty bad spot to start the fight. I could have probably used the umbrella actually, but... Oh, the fucking Borf sniped me. Excuse you, Borf. I'm in the middle of something. Oh, my buff ran out as well. This is going incredibly well. That little fucker up there. I kinda have to commit to this attempt, even though this has gone horribly. I mean, we hardly did any damage. Okay, let's actually not commit to this attempt. Fuck it, let's try again. I didn't mean to go here. Oh. I mean, it's explicitly talking about a bloke. We are literally talking about a guy. Well, a kid, but still a guy. So it's not metaphorical. We gave her 2 serpent viscera bits that she ate, which then put her into great pain, and then afterwards she's like, oh, I have now become the cradle to carry the, what did they phrase it as? Like the western, like the dragon heritage? Yeah, that's what they call it, the dragon heritage to the west. And that will mean absorbing Kuro, however the fuck that works, in some capacity. Yeah, there's a lot of weird feeding and eating shit going on in this game entirely. Right, so, let's do this properly. Let's pre-buff with this, so we take a little bit less ass, and then we do the confetti. He's probably gonna teleport over here. I don't think there's anything else he can go to. Flailing and hope for the best. These fucking Borfs. I need to rebuff confetti anyway, so I may as well right now while I have a second. I got stuck on this fucking pillar. More precious blade. That has so much startup that I keep cornering myself before I even have to do anything about it. Wow, you teleported quickly. That is very rude of you. That is incredibly rude because my buff's gonna run out. I do really love the meaty hit sound if you also buff yourself with the confetti and then start slapping them. That sounds great. He staggered immediately, so he's teleporting again. Wow, that's a lot more expected. Keep your creepy crawly bullshit up with me. Not sure why crawly necessarily. I guess because Terra. In my brain, it's, whoa, that hit my foot. Okay, we got him. That was incredibly awkward, as they always are. Just a lapis lazuli, really. Oh, it didn't give us the final of the 4 thingamabobs. Where do you get the 4th one then? So that's always a would you be immortal question thing man asks when you get into what would the main asshole visible, able to say but you can still be aware. It's I think the idea is that she'll carry his essence or some shit until they go to where the heritage originated from, and then they'll do some shit that will turn him into a regular bloke again. They were talking about turning Kuro into a, like, regular mortal and letting them live a normal life in that regard. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, most of these things and most of these games go. Where is the last of these guys then? Where is the remaining headless? We did the one there in the water, we did the other water guy, we did the one in the dark cave, we did the one there. I mean, I'm out of confetti anyway, so it'll be annoying because I'll have to farm some first. Where in the fuck is the last guy? Okay, we have 0 money, that's always a good sign. Maybe I'll remember while I go and deal with the bull, because that is next on our agenda. There is a white burning bull over here as well, who will give us the second out of the 3, or well, the first out of the 3 missing prayer beads, the second out of the 4, or the last out of 4. And then the last 2 enemies, I don't know where they are. So the last 2 beads, I don't know where we get them from. But yeah, we go... How do we get up there? Or out there, rather, I should say. We can probably swim from here somewhere? Or maybe from here, actually. Yeah, we already have 9... Well, how does that even work? 9 necklaces, I guess. So we can create quite the prayer bead for your sort of purpose. Sounds like a very fun time for everyone involved. Hey, there's some items here that I missed. Maybe you go to them from the outside? How do one get in there? Oh. Because we went through here during the stealth section. Did we never go into that room? Oh, maybe through here. Aha, that makes sense. Yeah, I missed that last time we were here. Nice. Treasure cards there. How enter? And in the big bin we have, please be a prayer bead, so I'm not missing quite as much stuff. Water of the Palace, a cup filled with the divine waters, a drink popular with nobles of the palace. When a wedding procession arrives at the Fountainhead Palace, this is the drink they are greeted with. The nectar of the palace nobles. Go ahead, drink to your heart's content. I know a guy that we can give this to. I don't remember what happens to him, it's probably nothing good, but I know a guy that would really like this. Well, anyway, let's not be in here in stealth section Satan hellhole. Really? It's the same fucking... I'm even speaking somewhat loudly, and I have the microphone in the same spot as always, and I have the same sound setting as always. How the fuck has this been fine for the last 800 sets? And now, for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, this is not fine, never mind. I guess I'll turn it down then slightly. We even had like plenty boss fights and shit. I mean, I might have been mumbling while I was going through the water, but I've spoke loudly before, even while things were going on, so I don't know. Feels weird either way. Oh, right, I should probably... Can I get onto the roof from here? No, not quite. Okay, I want to go on the roof because I want to see if I can maybe jump backstab the thing. Because DK as in DK is just being silly and I shouldn't need to tinker with the audio settings, or because I was mumbling because DK is here, so I mumble. Alright, let's backstab these guys at least, because they'll be a pain in the ass while we fight the bull, regardless of whether we can actually stealth kill the bull or not. Let's start with the one in the back, and in back of him. Because I think this one would notice me if I stab the other one. I can probably puppeteer one as well. Although if they go for the ones on the guys on the inside, that'd be a problem. Oh, there's another guy up there. Good thing I didn't commit yet. And good thing I went for the one in the very back. How did I miss this guy before? Yeah, slander isn't exactly the sort of thing one can just say no to. People that want to slander will find a way to slander. Okay, I'm gonna puppeteer you and hope this works in my favor. Right, so is the bull still around the corner, or has he, right below me? Seems like someone has upset my mate. Please be stealth kill. Come on, game, I don't ask for much. It appears that there is no stealth kill for this. Well then, so I seem to remember there being something about using confetti on this guy as well. To actually do damage to him, because he's apparently some sort of phantom ghost bull apparition type guy. Which would be a pain, because we are obviously out of confetti as always. Wait, in that case malcontent should deal damage to it, right? That did fuck all. We could have used malcontent on the Chimichanga warrior earlier as well. How did we fight this guy last time? Oh right, I just went past him and did charge steps the entire time. Like so. Yeah. Thankfully my max health has increased so much that even if I do a few mistakes here and there, I'm not immediately dead, which is very comfy. He attacked through the wall and hit something on the other side. I just heard someone die. Oh, that was probably my puppet now. Damn, that does absolutely fuck all. Fuck's sake, I just can't keep getting past them because the area here is very slightly too short from here. I got a extra life back because my puppet died, that's really comfy. Why do I keep saying comfy rather than convenient or helpful or whatever? I think it's just stuck in my brain. I think I heard someone say that a lot yesterday on this thing. So now it's just here. Well, first try and with the greatest of elegance. One more Spirit Emblem, sure why not. Get some mate aerials and some money, very fine. Oh yeah, we actually have a decent bit of money stored in our backpack, so that was hard. I might also have the... Yeah, I have music still pretty reasonably high. I can also turn it down one. But I like music on decently high when I play Souls games because I think the boss themes really tend to add to the encounters. Not that that one specifically was much enhanced by it. Well, I also have the opposite with your streams, where I go in and think, yeah, this is pretty unfortunate, but you tell me, no, I want the audio to be loud and whatever, so... I don't know. It's like, that's the awkward thing about it. Even like if people aren't trying to fuck with you, everyone just has slightly different perceptions of how they think it should sound in different sound systems. I meant Bango specifically. For you as well, I think your sound in, like, audio levels in general are pretty quiet, like both game as well as, like... your volume, but relatively I think your volume is usually fine compared to game audio. It's just that the entire package in your case is pretty low. You're being Ruford in this case. So like Ruford, audio levels low but balance fine, and Mambango audio levels overall fine, but sometimes I find them to be a little bit less on the like dialogue side. Your dialogue volume is not optimal. Yeah, it's been a thing for a while. I know my stream is also more on the quiet side, generally speaking. I could also start increasing that still. Like, there's a little bit more room for me to wiggle in that regard, where I can increase both myself as well as the game a little bit, but that makes fucking with the relative volume a little bit harder, so I don't think that's really worth doing. But yeah, it ultimately just always depends on what sort of systems that people are listening to. Like, if I'm listening on headphones, I don't really mind if the audio balance isn't perfect, because I'll usually be able to hear someone anyway, unless they're completely getting drowned out. Whereas if I listen to them, like, someone on speakers, and especially, like, given my speakers are the literally cheapest ones I could get off of Amazon at some point, so they are complete shite, I will have a lot of trouble understanding if the balance isn't great, or if, like, it's more in the upper echelons of volume sort of thing. Yeah, that's a pretty common issue with the system volume having to be low because otherwise you can't hear shit. Okay, let's quickly go through some of these areas and see if we... Can we go all the way back here? I think we're just cut off, right? I think this is where it ends. I think this one is out, this one is out. Yeah, I think that everything through the valley just doesn't work, and then the one before Flames of Hatred, that area we went through, I don't think there's a boss or anything there. That one we can't reach because that's after that place, this one as well. Shino Castle Gate. Oh yeah, that was by the bull. We can't reach that either. Yeah, this entire chunk. I think all of this is out of reach for us. I wonder if there's just more people hanging out in the castle now that we could take on and get some prayer beads from. Is there another guy in the Serpent Shrine? That would be kind of funny. I should probably go check. I'm gonna check because I would find that hilarious if you go there and at three different times and there's really 3 different guys to kill who are always like, oh man, this big man ass fucker died here, I am going to avenge him, and then you go in and kill them, and then the next guy shows up. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, there's some loot here. Just full of us. Can never have enough us. What happened here? Yeah, that's pretty common that your audio randomly will reset and then life sucks for everyone. Although very often it'll also just deselect your audio device. Not even like select anything specific, just go, hey, we want the default one back. Even though the default one literally doesn't do anything or doesn't work. It's kinda weird though, man. Goodbye, monkeys. I'm surprised there are new monkeys here. When we first arrived here, there were monkeys, then we left and there were no monkeys because they had been apparently killed by the Ashina maids. Or not the Ashina maids, but the Ministry maids. And now we're back and there's more monkeys, so I don't understand. Oh yeah, it's one of you guys. These are fairly swole, I actually need to pay attention to this guy. It's a little bit unfortunate that I'm also being shot by his mates. Would prefer if that wasn't the case, but if I go in, there's a second... Yeah, there's a second sword mate, so... Let's retreat up here. Could just backstab this unaware load. Alright, Puppet Man, please be hopeful. I require assistance. He is getting completely annihilated. Ow. Don't slap me with your rifle, that's not how you use that, Mr. Monkey. I backstabbed my own monkey there because I was slapping the other one, but the prompt showed up for those and it... Oh, for fuck's sake, I couldn't get my death blow. That might have even been a backstab death blow at that point, because I was behind him. Let's see if we can split this group up a little bit. I don't want to fight both of them at once, they're pretty rough. Yeah, this slide fight for poor Mr. Monkey. But done absolutely nothing wrong. That's the wrong syntax for literally everyone. I'm impressed. I don't think anyone has just the word quote as an add command. Implying you've never quoted anything. I have evidence to the contrary. Oh, I see, yeah. I mean, that would be very weird, because people would very naturally just type exclamation mark quote to color quote on, like, anyone's stream, really. Anyone that has quotes uses that. So just randomly making that the add thing would be pretty bad, I'd say. Like, you're just asking for trouble. Please let me pass. Right, Bethune? Yeah, we're getting monkeyed. I don't think these are apes, are they? They don't really have the tails, but I think they're more closely related to monkeys. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows. There's a block on this that's called orangutan, so maybe they are more about the apes. Mate, I am dead. You may leave me now. Quote in, yeah. Well done. How do I do with these guys? Yeah, they are also, like, fighting ninja monkeys or samurai monkeys or something with two swords that they use very well, so might be a bit more to this than basic biology. How do I do with these two? I don't really have spirit emblems or anything useful. I liked our idea here earlier of splitting them up a little bit. Maybe I can get one onto the roof with me. Or they can forget about me. Oh, that was well coordinated. Good job, guys. I leave. Oh, barely not in range. Well, the other one has momentarily forgotten about me, I was about to say, and then they remembered. Ow. Fucking Kriegerfe. He's not the tallest man in the game, definitely, but I don't think he's that small that he'd make the average monkey look big. fuck. I keep misjudging the range, I'm not very familiar with the moveset. Yeah. They don't look very muscular either, so swinging those swords around is already an impressive feat. We've lost them for a moment. Do they both hang out up here by default, or are they just still searching? Looks like they're both just still searching. Oh, for fuck's actual sake. I'm getting impatient because I'm out of resources and shit. I kinda wanna just reset and try again. Oh, missed. That was nice. Oh, really? That's so rich. I guess I keep misjudging this placing. Almost happening again. Ooh. Ah, fuck. He did another attack on that chain. Oh. Yeah, it started out more than twice as high as well. Like, that's not just even like, oh, they both kept growing, but he was just the biggest man in the game from the get-go. Right, so now I can start this from the other side, which should make this a little bit more feasible. You know what? Here, help me fight your friends. I'd appreciate that. Hey, don't look at me, go in there. That being said, they might well be apes after all. There was a boss called the Guardian Ape in this, and I'm assuming that they'd all just be the same. Give me your dog, thank you. That they're just all the same sort of species, with some of them just growing big and strong. Well, we got a bundle Jesus statue, which is alright, but that's not the prayer beat I was hoping for. So that was not great. I'm not gonna spend too much time looking for these prayer beads, because I should have just looked it up in advance. So if I don't have all of them and miss out on some health, then so be it, that's fine with me. Is there anything we can do here now that we couldn't do before? I think we've gone through all of those. Oh, we had something to turn into someone. Yeah, we can go to the Mibu village now. I think this is the closest one we have, and give the fountainhead water to the drunk man, or the drinker man. Mignolad. Who is Mignola? Or what is getting Mignolad? I'm not familiar, sorry. I mean, the ape was also pretty big, man. Excuse me, sir. Why shouldn't I? Am I going to be educated in a field that you want me to not be educated? You downloaded a famous Hellboy panel. Oh, I see. Well, it's not like you'd be, here, have the palace. Have the palace, yes, the entire thing. You can link shoot. I say I'm trying to get you banned. No, but I don't think Automat does anything, so feel free. People may post links freely on their own. Oh, Jesus Christ, responsibility. Oh, he gives us some sake, nice. Might be a bit late to, okay, go nuts, bro, just gulp away. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think we're kind of past the point where we can have sake with anyone. One is dead, one has disappeared. Actually, 2 out of 3 are dead, and the one that's missing I don't think we can have sake with, so I think we're just past the point of engaging with those. Okay, yeah, he's very busy. If we reload the area and come back here, things will have very slightly changed a bit. I think it'll turn a bit gribbly, as they tend to do. Let me check out this here link. I see. Very fun. I don't think you need to educate anyone else on what sounding is. As we exist on the internet, we naturally know what sounding is, whether we want to or not. Sounding is small fry. The weird practices of the DK come to light. But I don't know why, but I always find it super fun to just jump past this guy. He's like, "Ha! We shall duel to death on this bridge." I'm like, "Nope," then I leave. So the water has turned him into one of these flutulous. Let's not have that happen to us. Treasure Corp scale. They get scaled when they turn this way? Huh, weird. Odd. Weird. Yeah, he has the power, don't upset Nambango. He has a sword, it's dangerous. We did help someone become Fisk actually. You guys missed out. Yesterday we gave someone a bunch of Treasure Corp scales, which are these red scales that we also just got one from. Or one off, rather. And they were like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is my life desire." And then we next met him, they had left their pot that they were hiding in and hopped into the water and became a Fisk. Probably still hanging out there. Unless they died. We also binned a Great Carb. A very big man Fisk, which looked more like a koi to me, but I'm not an expert. Right, so that is now a thing that we have done. You'd think so, but I think they chose the pot life, really. I guess that's the danger of drug culture. Also, look at this, unplayable. Like you choose the pot life, and suddenly you're sitting out in the middle of nowhere asking for Fisk scale, so you can become Big Man Fisk. Yeah, look at this detail, never meant to be seen. Floating tree, or at least not properly connected tree. Unplayable. What happened to your message there? Oh. Why is that not showing up? Did they remove that from BTTV? Oh, now it's showing up. It was just loading. Very fun. Oh, normal. I say, do trees just not have roots in Japan? Yeah, there you go. Now it's showing up. Man, I'm learning a lot today, this stream. It's not even been that long of a stream. Wait, it's showing up in my chat, not on the in-game thing, or the on-stream thing. What the hell? That is odd. Oh well. Guess no Luger for you. Fucking hell, where are the last prayer beads? Let me think. Yeah, you need a chat extension, but normally it shows up on stream either way, so... It has done that in the past, that's why I'm confused. I know that I need to set it up so that it actually shows up. But it has shown up in previous streams, it's just not showing up right now for some reason. It's getting rebranded soon, alright then. Very fine. Fuck it, I think we just go towards the end of the game. I can't figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. Boys has kept you in front of your PC for the rest of the time. Oh, maybe. I guess I can quickly go check that out. Let's see, Streamlabs. It appears that you are correct. Let's see. Jesus Christ, everything looks so different every time I open this, and I very rarely open this, which is probably part of the issue. Well, either way. What the fuck are you talking about? How does that relate to Harry Potter, or am I being confused? I think I'm being confused. Anyway, we should head over here and go towards the end then. I don't mind having emotes and people using those emotes, especially since they're free for everyone once you download the extension. And anyone can just add whatever the fuck they find fun, or just not do that if they don't find it fun. I don't quite agree. Again, it's entirely up to one's, like, every streamer by themselves to decide what they want or what they don't want. So, well, yeah, there's a lot of shit that I'd also not want. I can just say, nah, thanks, and not have that. So, I don't know. Seems like a pretty pointless complaint. Like, oh, these guys enjoy something that I don't enjoy, fuck them, never allowed. Anyway, let's go fight the final boss. And die a couple hundred times, because that is where I usually get stuck. Yeah, like some of the more weird or sus emotes, as you put it, I would also not really enjoy. Makes me question that shit a little bit. Hey, look, it's a role reversal. Cause like, don't worry, we got this. Oh, I see. Yeah, you should play it yourself then, Bathran. Enjoy. Type him.
健一郎殿そのようなものでは決してアシナの命運は変わりませぬ。狼よ、流因など誰の手にもあるべきではないのだ。苦労をかけるな。
We have ways, but it all depends on this guy being out of the picture, so don't worry, we got it.
参る。ああ、しまいとしよう。
This blade looks a bit messy, better not get cut by that.
俺がアシナを生かす。
Alright, yeah, that's it now. I think I just want to get away from that. Oh boy, I messed it up completely. I don't know, I find emotes are good at what they're made for, basically. They oftentimes you can very well just use them as an expression of like an emotion or something, or as a reaction or something. Something makes you laugh, you have the option of typing lol or lol or ha 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 or whatever, or you can post a funny picture of someone laughing that people find fun as a reference to something. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. It's just like, sure, if your stream is like 10,000 people and they're all just spamming shit, then you can't have a regular conversation anyway because there's just too many people. So, I think... whatever. Yeah, that is definitely much more intellectually stimulating than posting an emote that is also representing how I find this funny. Oh, he doesn't stagger from that, my bad. For some reason thought I could have dropped him there. Oh. Yeah, and then I missed my timing. Yeah, but how many people tell you I fucking die? Like, how many times do people write that in response to something you wrote? Even you yourself write stuff like lola or whatever, which is also like, haha, look at me, I'm quirky and don't type lol, but type the same word, just write it funny because that's humor. Look at me failing literally every parry in that flurry. Nice. Might take me a few tries to get the rhythm on that part. They didn't do a follow-up this time. Anyway, so this is just the warm-up. We fought this guy twice before, so this phase shouldn't really be much of an issue once I get used to it. It's the follow-ups that are the problematic. I'm also like fighting this like an idiot, I'm not really paying that much attention. Kinda rambling and pressing buttons as it comes up. Yeah, for fuck's sake. Oh boy, boys lets you free. Good luck. But yeah, I think in general, suggesting that, oh, I gotta be worried about emotes because there's gonna be like rampant racist emotes is a bit silly given how obscenely anal Twitch can be about a lot of even minor things. So they generally won't get away with official emotes that are actively racist. Oh fuck, that's not the sweep. Fuck, it looks like the sweep. I was wondering why I didn't get the warning message. Yeah, I died. Yeah, look at you coming up with your own rules for how you want to express yourself. That definitely tells people a lot about you, because if you're talking to someone for the first time and you write that, then clearly that says a lot more. Like, they'll learn so much about you. For fuck's sake, why am I so bad at this? Tight space here. I can probably punish him with the technique actually every time he does that, because he recovers pretty slowly from the Marble Blade thing. Okay. Cool. Further than I thought. I wonder if I was safe to the right actually. His blade seems to go fairly far to his right rather than my right. So I wonder if I could have dodged to the right there a little bit. Wiggle. I find it awkward that they make you skip the cutscene every time. It doesn't take much time or whatever, and this little fade to black, it's not like it makes me lose years of my life or whatever. I accidentally missed my timing on my dodge there. I really need to stop just rambling about random bullshit and focus on the fight, but I can't be arsed just yet. I'm not in the mood for let's like sweat this out sort of thing yet. I guess that's why I was trying to do the other collectible shit first. Collectible, just 3 remaining upgrades. Yeah, that is the sweep, isn't it? It's just not giving you the warning. I should try parry that once to see if it works.
その力だ。
Yeah, please do that for a fight that is incredibly difficult. Oh, thought it was gonna be far enough.
俺にもなすべき
Okay, it's
こ
not
と
the
だ。
sweep actually. This one, like this one was the sweep, but that's not the same animation that I got caught by before. So I really should just not automatically assume and accept that he has a regular attack on that repertoire there, rather than sweep or stab. Alright, let's actually try to focus a little bit. We actually have some water as well. Either way, I still prefer having every line and camera angle skipped individually rather than not being able to skip shit at all. People that make their games where you can't skip any cutscene or anything. Really? I disagree with that hitting me. I'm just gonna try again. Okay, so I can't just strafe it to the right because I might get caught by that. Bit annoying. I'll just try to run right behind him then. But yeah, as long as you can skip shit at all, it's already way ahead of the curve. I don't know why people make that shit unskippable. For the first time, sure, I can kinda get it, even though it's tedious, but if you're seeing the same thing over and over, you need to make that shit skippable.
俺がアシナを生かす。
Take that as not optional. Yeah, I'll just move away from him doing that like normal people do. That was the thrust. Oh, that reaches so far. I don't know why I never expected to reach that far. Yeah, I mean, Death Stranding is just a bit of a weird game in that regard anyway. Like, even for Kojima, that game is very aggressively Kojima. Yay, we won, game over. ¿Por qué no los dos, as they say?
結局何もできなかった。だが、ユーインがこの国を生かす。これでアシナの世は明ける。
Time for more weird shit. I saw a video of someone taking apart this cutscene, and it's pretty funny how they make this happen, this effect that's about to occur. They really... like... how do I best say that? They really... cheat this in as hard as possible, basically. It's very silly.
Wa shi wa kono Ashina o yomigaera ne ba naranu. Yue ni Sekiro. Onushi o kiru zo.
Alright, so we get somewhat younger Ishin. And somewhat younger Ishin fucks me up. Okay, it strikes twice, so it always gives me some time to either heal or run up or something. Okay, that has a follow-up, so no free punish. Oh, I swear I pressed up. fact that he actually uses this technique that we've heard so much about before, that he's like famous for his like sword style. Alright, so it's time for a spear. I don't like this, by the way. The fact that he gets a fucking spear and a fucking gun, but mostly the spear. Not only is he literally called Sword Saint in this fight, but he's also like famous as like the big man swordsman, like hard ass fucker with the sword. And here he is, fighting with his fucking spear. Having chains that I just can never brain. I wonder if I can just jump that. Probably not. Fuck's sake. Oh, this goes up anyway. We'll get that line a lot. So I have I have one ace up my sleeve, basically. If I ever really get tired of this fight, I have, at some point in my life, found out that I can always just sprint the fuck away from an attack, get in, get one hit, sprint away, get in, one hit, and so on and so forth, and win the fight for free. Like, I have a fairly reliable street strategy for this, if I ever run out of patience. I don't want to use it, though, because I think that's, like, removing the fun part of the game. Never know if I should do the actual I jump on you thing there. Or just in general. It always struck me as a kind of a weird punish, because it just puts a little bit of posture rather than actually doing anything else. Oh, I can actually counterattack that, that's good to know. Yeah, that was not the sweep, I think. Oh fuck, is this attack? I misread that. My bad. Yeah, so this guy very quickly becomes the little warm-up before the actual fight. Oh. Okay, he does something else from that if I get too close in or not. Ooh, that hits me before I get to counterattack. Hold on. I swear I parried that. That's the third time this has happened to me, where I'm so close to him, he does that like counter thing, and I press the button and I don't get the parry, instead I just get hit. I wonder if it's for some reason not parryable, or if I'm just apparently too slow, even though I feel like I pressed it at the correct time. That one I didn't press at the correct time. Okay, I need to learn this fight, or this phase a little bit better as well, because I need to get through it somewhat quickly and efficiently without using it too much healing. And I think his basic bitch sword phase is also really simple. Like, his attacks aren't very varied or powerful in that, so I don't need to worry too much, but I should be able to get through it without wasting my healing. That was very greedy of me. I'm surprised I got away with that. Let's see. Hey, that made him stagger, nice. Like, that's a pretty good bit of damage, but it resets to such an awkward position that I'm not sure I like it. Like, this does basically no damage, but at least it stays, like, it lets me stay in. Yeah, that is in fact not a sweep attack, so I can just parry it and go into that cool posing moment.
Sekiro!
Hey, I got it actually this time. So it's not unblockable or anything, I was just said. See, that's how that fight was supposed to go. This phase should not be the hard part. Okay, I do get hit if I close that out, and I'm too close. I need to stop getting into that. I guess I can just parry them. Fuck me. Fuck's sake. What? I should have rolled backwards. I went flat ways because I was greedy. I like that he has a slightly different response to the Mikuri counter. Like, he jumps away in a different way after being stomped on. Like, it looks like he's visibly experienced with how to deal with that shit. And how to not lose your balance quite as hard. I can't even see that. Like the way he retreats the spear and just crumbling forwards a little bit or whatever. I just do not get along with this phase ever. Well then, phase 3. I was slightly too late. That is such a shame. Most of the enemies that do the lightning attack really wait a while before they unleash it, so I was a bit slow to jump into the air there. To pass it on, basically. Fuck me. Oh, right. More shit. Oh, fuck. I thought I could maybe stagger him out of that attack. That's a shame. He's still going. Oh, I missed. No, I pressed the wrong button! Well, not even worth popping a press. Actually, that might help me with some tail parries. Where the fuck are you going? Yeah, definitely help me with some tail parries though. for fuck's sake. Yeah, so his third phase is thankfully a little bit easier because the lightning attacks really bite him in the ass quite a lot. He, like, whenever he does the lightning attack and you jump into him and block it in the air, you can, like, reverse it on him. He gets stunned, he takes a bit of posture damage, and you even get 1 or 2 attacks in, which is great. So the third phase is, funnily enough, easier than the second one. My main issue is that while I can sort of deal with it, like I did right there, I'm not dealing with it in a way that I think is, like, proper, if that makes sense. I'm not dealing with it by learning the parry timings or dodging the attack specifically. I'm mostly just getting out of dodge whenever he does anything that looks even remotely difficult. And it doesn't feel like a very satisfying way of defeating that phase, if that makes sense. I'm just autopiloting. I should let myself die here. Yeah, I don't think I want to waste a resurrection on this. But yeah, so the issue is that I'm not standing there and just parrying them and understanding the timing and dealing with it specifically. Instead, I usually just get the fuck back out. Like, whenever he starts his attack, I parry maybe the first hit, and then I just back the fuck out. He flails a little bit, I go back in. And certain attacks I can punish and deal with almost every time. Certain attacks I can parry and then get some posture damage that way. So if I just repeat that, I will very likely eventually win. It's sort of what I was talking about a second ago with me having, like, the ace up the sleeve if ever I get too tired of trying to fight this. But that's not how I think the game is best enjoyed. I swear I parried, but I guess I accidentally dodged this one. So it's a very unsatisfying way of defeating the final boss, which is like the ultimate, on paper, swordsman at least. I wonder if it's better to hit a thrust attack on the guy or to light attack. Pocket cheese also tends to be fuzzy. What the fuck?
Sekiro.
Like, compared to this phase, I think in this phase I can absolutely learn how to deal with the various attack timings that he has, and, like, deal with it in a way that the character would deal with. Well, that's maybe a bit of a strong phrase, but, like, deal with it in a way that feels like an honorable... I was too slow because I'm rambling, fuck. That feels like an honorable sort of sword fight, with me just dealing with attacks, he deals with my attacks, and eventually one of us wins. That's fine with me. But, like, in phase 2, if I'm just standing there and he's flailing his spear, and I don't understand the timing for any of it, I'm just like, fuck, get me out of here, then that does not feel like a satisfying sword fight and a satisfying ending, in terms of, like, the mechanical charms of the game. But on the flip side, standing there and actually dealing with it is incredibly hard. Oh, that's the circular thing rather than the cut. I thought he was doing the vertical slice thing. Never mind. I didn't think he'd do that on this phase. My bad. But again, like, his weird flaily attacks and how he mixes in regular sword attacks in there alongside the spear attacks is so hard for my brain to manage. I cannot learn those attack patterns at all for some reason. I have been, like, this is probably the Soulsborne fight that I got the longest stuck on, or got stuck on for the longest time, I should say. Because I just, like, when trying to fight this the, for me, enjoyable, honorable sort of way, it just does not work for me. I need to stop doing that while I'm rambling and autopiloting, because I'll just, okay, I'm just fucking doing it. Like, that is not hard to avoid, but I'm just doing, like, random weird shit. I don't know why I resurrected. You know what, let's make this quick. Maybe. I think, like, the way I fought him there in this previous attempt, I think the difficulty is sort of appropriate. Like, I'm not saying that fundamentally he's overtuned or, like, that he needs to be adapted. I think that you have cheese strategy options against him is fine. Like, you can, of course, choose to do that or not at your own leisure, so it's not like, oh, it exists, so I must use it, or whatever. So I don't really mind when there's cheese strategies for a fight like that. So I don't think he needs to be able to deal with that. And I think his normal difficulty is probably also fine, generally speaking. Like, the fact that I can't read his attacks feels more like a me issue. The other day we had a guy here that was like, oh, how can you have trouble with Ishin when you're dealing with Demon of Hatred? No problem. Or relatively no problem. Like, how do you find Demon of Hatred harder than Ishin, that's crazy. And I think that's just subjectively the issue. I think my brain just does not deal with his flurry of spear and sword attacks very well, but I want to deal with it in the sort of fun, enjoyable way, you know? Like how I want to rather learn how to parry this man's flurry rather than just run away from the flurry and then punish him for free every time. That's just how I like enjoy it, but for Ishin it's just, for me specifically, it seems to be just not my strong suit basically. Oh, I wonder if he has a Mikiri counter variant for me as well. Oh, that's a cheeky follow-up, nice. I saw him enter that stance, I was like, does he actually? And then, yup, he just fucking hits you. Oh right, we saw this earlier, I just forgot. Hey, it was actually not done here. I think this fight is probably easiest if I stay active. Seems like whenever I reset and he goes full ass, we're in trouble. That stagger actually kills me there, huh? I was very slightly early on my parry, I think. That's the first time I felt that one. Neat. But yeah, I think what I should be doing if I was like serious about learning to fight him quote-unquote properly is I should just get in there and then focus on identifying each of those spear attack patterns and figuring out what is there, and then just learn to play that basically by ear rather than by the regular flow of a normal fight, if that makes sense. Like rather than doing a back and forth sort of thing, I probably need to take like a learning session where I just watch his moves for a little bit. Oh fuck. Yeah, see, normally if this was just Genichiro as the fight, I would like to be in there and actually parry this flurry instead of just avoiding it, because avoiding it feels uninteractive and sort of borderline cheesy. So, I don't know. I'll stop rambling about this because I'm rambling about the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I don't mind doing that for this fight because this fight has 4 phases total, so if he gives me an opportunity to just take a step back and punish for free, I'll take it. Because otherwise I'll just take even more tries than I already will. And this man had his fair and honorable fight with me before, so... You only get one.
Sekiro.
Oh, that doesn't stagger him, weird. Yeah, that punishes me pretty well. And I could not recover from that in time to actually deal with that because he did a sweep attack specifically, so neither dodge nor parry would have worked here. Cool. I swear I pressed that. Why the fuck does that keep happening? Also still definitely a little bit of learning to do here. If he gives me a sort of easy pattern that I stop fucking up, then I can deal with him really well. But as soon as things go a little bit off my preferred course, basically, I am still struggling quite a bit. But yeah, I think that's always the fun part about difficulty and, like, well, yeah, just difficulty in general. I was gonna say, like, puzzles, but that's not really that much of a puzzle, is it? Difficulty is so super subjective that like, someone might be like, oh yeah, this is the hardest fight in the game, and someone else might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I am generally always happy to fight this guy. And the Souls games generally tend to show this a lot. I've seen people that have much more experience with Souls games struggle with certain bosses that I find are fairly easy and just like, not even in a cheesy sort of manner, just straight up I find their mechanics and their overall difficulty rather low, but he's fairly experienced on paper much better than me players who are like struggling with that fight a little bit, or at least I know of 2 of them. So for me that fight was easy, for them the fight was really hard comparatively, and that's just the nature of difficulty. Some people are gonna have instances that, oh that's the other attack. Some people are gonna have instances where they find something really hard that others find very easy, and vice versa. There's no real major through line with any of that. You can't just say like, oh, this fight is always easy, this fight is always hard. Even for like gimmick fights, some gimmicks just come more natural to some people than others. Oh, I didn't think he'd continue swinging if I'm super wrong. That attack comes out so slow. Okay, that was the twirl, I was correct there. I was a little bit worried, and that's why I went diagonally in case. It's probably fine if I end up blocking that attack, so maybe I shouldn't try to parry it necessarily. Yeah, that does basically nothing, so if I end up blocking that accidentally rather than parrying it, that's fine with me. The little push that he does there. Yeah, I remembered that he was gonna follow up anyway, even if I'm not there. Oh, I was slow. I do like his hesitation is defeat line, because it holds so true in this game. And also in his fight. You gotta be confident in your decision making, if you're not, you're just probably gonna die. Because slowing down slightly and not trusting in yourself, just end with you becoming dinner. Okay, I get some free hits if I do that. Like, this attack pattern is infinitely hard for me. I cannot sight read that at all. I don't understand why necessarily, because I also on paper see that some of these attacks are pretty slow and manageable, but it never works for me. I always try to counterattack at bad times, I always try to punish at bad times. It's just... My saving grace really are the fairly obvious attacks that he sometimes does. And shit like the Mikuri counter, which always gives me a bit of free damage. Like, how am I supposed to read that? I literally couldn't even see that his sword was sticking out into the fucking flower field there. For all I know, he could have just been running up behind me or just moving. I am always so slow on that, I don't know why. It takes my brain like a few seconds to react to the fact that that's coming up. I thought it was the regular jumping attack for a moment. I could have had that, that's a shame. I am very slightly off every step of the way there. I will never learn this fight properly, I think. I guess I've made my peace with that, so just getting through. Fair enough. But yeah, that's why this is the only fight in the game that I'm scared of. Because I cannot understand these patterns, and I've never learned them, and I likely never will.
じゃ赤色さらば
I do like Ishin. He's fun. Saint Ishin. At his peak, Ishin Asuna devoted himself to deadly conflict and pursuit of strength, a single-minded killing machine of a man. We get the Dragon Flash, combat art that performs a high-speed cut from a sheathed stance. I need to learn to speak at some point. Charge to send out shockwaves, cost spirit emblems to use. In his younger years, Ishin was a devil with a sword, spending his days in pursuit of life or death combat. He often ruminated on how a cut should be made, but his blade always moved first. Ruminated on how a cut should be made, but his blade always moved first. You've defeated many extraordinary foes who can now be faced in memory as a series of consecutive battles. Gauntlets of Strength can be accessed via the Sculptor's Idle menu. Confronting memories of the past is akin to the discovery of new possibilities. The very ends of conflict may afford a new state of mind. This is new. We've unlocked Boss Rush mode. Divine Air Path has been unlocked. Severance Path has been unlocked. So, we now get to end the game. We have 3 choices of endings. Yeah, I did just win. You arrive just past the final boss. You missed the 1v1 with Ishin, man. You were talking about wanting to 1v1 Ishin, and here we are, 1v1ing Ishin, and then he dies, and now you arrived asking, are you winning? Shame. Guess you have to play this yourself at some point. We'll give it one try at the boss rush. If everything goes well, maybe we'll get to the very end of it. Who knows? Anyway, let's choose our ending.
どこじゃ狼
So, we can either give him the Dragon's Tears, which is the normal Immortal Severance ending. Basically, we do him in, and the Dragon's Heritage ends, and this immortality bullshit also ends with it. Or, we can give him the Dragon Tears and the Everblossom, which will cost us our lives, but turns him into a regular bloke, from what we understand, so he can live out his days normally, and the Immortal bullshit also ends here. Or we can do the thing with that we unlocked with the Serpent Persimmon thingies. We can give him the Dragon Tears and the Frozen Tears, which will then allow him to be carried by the Divine Child to the west, where we can purify him, and no one needs to die, and then we'll live happily ever after, because that's definitely gonna go well. So we basically have sad ending Kuro dies, sad ending I die, but Kuro gets to live, which is probably fine overall. Like, Wolf's gone through some shit, maybe the man desires some peace at some point. And we have the everyone lives happily ever after on paper ending, so let's go with this.
おそばにおります。竜の涙を。参りましょう。我が巫女。
九郎殿、今はどうか安らかに私の心にとどまってください。さようなら、みんな。私は行かねばなりません。我らの因果を断ち切るために。とても長い旅になります。それでも共に来てくださるのですか？
はい。
ありがとう、竜の忍びよ。九郎殿も喜んでおります。参りましょう。西に神なる竜の故郷に。
This to me always looks like the setup for either a sequel or some sort of anime or TV show or something. Like, Wolf and What's-Her-Face's great journey to the west, and then the adventures and troubles they run into as Master Ninja and weird immortal child bearing another immortal child in her heart. But yeah, I think this is on paper the good ending, and from what I understand, also possibly one of the better endings in any of the FromSoft games for everyone involved. Not to say that Ashina and the place where this game took place in general isn't beyond fucked anyway with all the rampant bullshit that happened, and a lot of people fucking died in war and shit. But hey, it's not the apocalypse or the end of everything, kind of like the FromSoft games tend to otherwise go. At least the more modern ones. I haven't played any of the older ones. True ending and good ending for those two respectively, I say. Yeah, with true ending, like I said, this sort of implies to me a possible sequel of like, hey, you play as Wolf as you're now accompanying What's-Her-Face. She needs a name, like, oh, Divine Child of the Rejuvenating Waters. It's just such a shit name, honestly. Anyway, like, you play as Wolf accompanying her to the west so you can fix Kuro. Oh, I thought you meant the devs themselves. This is very loud, by the way. Let me turn this down very slightly, so I need to no longer yell quite as hard. I've turned this down a lot now, sorry. Hope this is not shame for you guys. Still very loud in my ears, don't worry. My ears are still bleeding. The Corv, yeah, true. The ending where Sekiro sacrifices himself to turn Kuro into a regular child seems like the most immediately good ending, because for this one, things could obviously still go wrong. Like, Sekiro could be overwhelmed, the Korv could be captured and whatever. So, like, this is more set up for future stories rather than just straight up the good ending, whereas the Sekiro sacrifices themselves, I see that as, like, I understand why that would be the on-paper good ending, because like I said earlier, man's been through enough shit that he can probably safely say, yeah, if I give my life for the Lord to have a good time and for all this immortality bullshit to end, then he'd probably be into that. But, yeah, I don't know. I think they're ultimately, all three of them, decent endings. The Shura ending is the one that I really... like, that one is very unsatisfying, both in terms of the sort of plot as well as also the, like, the gameplay. You just end the game 2/3 of the way through. You don't get to see the final bosses and shit. You have a set of 2 different fights in a row that you get afterwards if you take that ending, but they're not that great. And it's just kind of weird to cut the game off. I respect that as a decision, to be fair. Like, I think it's fine that that is one of the endings. It's just my least favorite. So yeah, that's Sekiro overall. Very good game, in my opinion. It's the most streamlined, focused of the Souls games by far. The tools that you have are very narrow. Someone once put it in a very interesting way. They said that this game is probably the most... or the game that tries the hardest to make the player one with their player character from any game they had played. And that is mostly based on the actual gameplay. Usually it's just, oh yeah, the story, here's your protagonist, you may empathize with them or whatever. But they phrased it as the player can take any action, even in combat, that Wolf would not do. Like, any sort of dirty tactic you would use would be a tactic that Wolf would use. Any sort of stealth or straight-up man-fighting that you would do would be something Wolf would do as the shinobi and whatever the fuck. You are basically one with your player character, especially as opposed to the Souls games where you make up your own nameless bloke and then have them do whatever the fuck you want to. You're character in those games is often literally an empty vessel, sort of for you to just fill and use in whatever way you see fit. Whereas this is the exact opposite. Wolf is a character in this game, has a certain place in the story, has like a place in the world, and acts in a certain way that would all be like you just get to be there for it basically and have to make him do that, which I think is interesting. That's a fairly fun perspective on this, in my opinion, and I can see where they're coming from. I didn't really think about it that much or that deeply when I first played this. I was just like, I think I mostly enjoy the mechanical challenge. I think the game is, on paper, I think the hardest Souls game because the sort of mechanical dexterity sort of requirement is the highest in this game. The game asks you to parry a lot and dodge very precisely if you're trying to dodge. The Souls games, for what it's worth, are generally not very mechanically intense. They might be a little bit more so than some other games that exist in the world, but they're more punishing in terms of, hey, if you fuck up, you actually get done in for it. Whereas this game is also a little bit more on the mechanically demanding side. A lot of the attack chains and fight mechanics feel like little rhythm games where you have to press the parry button with certain, like, precise input timings. And I don't think it's overdoing that. I don't think the difficulty is extreme. It spikes here and there, definitely, but it's not extremely hard. So I think this is still something that people could learn if they wanted it to. But if you're going into it and thinking, oh, I'm just gonna go in and beat everyone and whatever, like if you're just focused on getting through a boss fight rather than learning the fight and its mechanics, then I think you're gonna have a slightly harder time with this game, generally speaking. Not you as in like someone in chat, or just, I'm more talking about like people in general going into this game and how this game works. Yeah, I'm talking about Mambango, for fuck's sake. Just, sure, get called out, idiot. I don't know. No, I think, like, you can still, to a certain extent, of course, cheese these fights. There are still tools that you can use. I heavily underused the shinobi tools that you have available. A lot of enemies have certain weaknesses and little tricks you can exploit. We didn't use, for example, the poison in the Fountainhead area at all, even though people were... Like, we had someone last time that was like, how did you do this without the Sabimaru? You're insane. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't use the tools very much. You can use this umbrella that we sometimes use for deflection. You can not quite exploit that, but... Oh, hey there. I do not remember that one. Interesting. I should have probably read that out. Memories of another. Memories, regrets, or obsessions left by another. Harboring these innermost thoughts at a sculptor's idol will allow the wolf to alter his form. Oh, it's an alternate skin, I see. Though doing so will have no bearing on his ability. Taking charge of another's regret is but a fleeting thing, after all. Anyway, I'll continue rambling about this game instead. This thing here, even in the unupgraded version, is very powerful. This one, like, when you open it, it works like a parry, except it's got, I think, double or triple the active frames. Like, it's a super strong parry. You basically can't fuck this up if you're at all pressing it while an attack is coming. You can also hold it afterwards, and you're now blocking. Even with without the Kuro's Charm thing, this will block very reliably. So it's overall still pretty... It's a really good way of dealing with boss mechanics that you're struggling with, or dealing with certain fights that you're struggling with. So the umbrella is a really good tool. There's some other stuff in here. You can cheese a lot of a refight. Oh, cheese. Take me saying that word with a great amount of salt, by the way. I'm not saying cheese as in, like, if you do this, you're an idiot, but rather I'm saying this as a way to simplify encounters, rather than, like, you guys suck if you use this. Like, no, obviously not. You should all just do whatever the fuck makes you happy. So doing this sort of thing is really, really useful against these groups that we were struggling with, and I was just running away and chipping away at them in some stupid manner, maybe resetting so I can get a stealth kill. You can use these tools to make your life a lot easier, and the game probably expects you to do that as well. So there's definitely still things you can do, even in the difficult fights in this game, and especially Sekiro's sprint speed makes you able to avoid things rather easily if you're aware of this being a thing. Like, if you're ready to sprint away from a difficult attack that you can't deal with, then you're probably gonna be fine. So just avoiding things altogether is often a really good idea. The sort of, I don't know how to deal with this attack, I guess I'll just not be where it lands sort of move works really well. Alright, Mace? Yeah, it's a lot of cheese in this. I'm always cheesing games. But, yeah, aside from that, the game is definitely the most linear, the most mechanically demanding game of the bunch. There's also no character building. You don't really spend any... Well, you do spend skill points to unlock techniques, but those will not make you have a completely different playstyle or anything. You can slightly alter your playstyle depending on what your preferences are. Like if you find certain tools appealing, you can get the upgrades that make them better, or find the skill points, or expend the skill points such that you get the follow-up attacks and so on and so forth. But realistically, Wolf is always going to be Wolf. You always have the one weapon that you're mostly going to be using. You have a very limited set of tools, basically. And that is, for a lot of people, a very... Like, that makes the game very hard. Elden Ring really pushes this to the absolute opposite extreme, where almost any encounter, you have 800 million ways of dealing with it. And thus it's in a lot of ways the most accessible FromSoft game, because anyone, in my humble opinion, and I do mean that, can play through a game like Elden Ring, simply because even if you're mechanically not up to the challenge, you can probably find a strategy that will deal with it. And not even a cheese strategy, just an approach that is objectively, well, okay, objectively is kind of hard to say, but like an approach that is easier or better or will help you out or will mitigate the difficulty and whatever the fuck. There's always things you can do to make Elden Ring easier. This game is the opposite. Elden Ring is massive, broad, and vast in its approaches. This game is very limited in its approaches. It has the stealth system, which I think is fun. I think the stealth system is fairly rudimentary, but very functional, and it feels fluid and fast to use, and it feels very impactful to get away with it as well. So that's definitely one way of dealing with shit. But overall, it's a very much more limited game in terms of what your abilities are. I don't really care much for the story. Generally speaking, I often go through Souls games more on a vibe basis than an actual lore sort of basis, so I usually don't go and read up all the dialogues and try to piece it together, maybe cobble together a timeline for myself or whatever. I just kind of just go with the vibe of the area, or the vibe of the story and the dialogue and the characters. I think that works okay in this game, but a lot of it is just kind of weird shit that... I don't know. It's just not really something I'm super into. Same with the aesthetics. I think the game looks beautiful. Like, graphically, it's absolutely fine. The animations are, in my opinion, pretty good. Like, good to great, some of them as well. Sound and everything, like the presentation is overall great. It's just, this is not my favorite aesthetic in the world. I am okay with the focus on Japanese architecture and Japanese myths and whatever. That's fine, but it's not what I'm necessarily into, if that makes sense. So that's not really a plus point for me, but for some people that will be a plus point, for some it will be a pretty negative point. But yeah, I think overall Sekiro is pretty great. It has low replayability. Like I was going for with the lack of builds and shit, you don't really have many reasons to come back and play this game again, unless it's been a while and you're just in the mood for more Sekiro. Like, in a Souls game, when like Dark Souls 2 came out, I beat that game like 6 times in a row with different builds and characters and playstyles and whatever. So that's fun, because you can always, you know, go back and play it in a different way and experience the encounters in a different way and see what works and try different weapons and whatever. Well, technically, the 5th time I saw an ending, yeah, but my first time playing it was 4 New Game Pluses in total, as in like 4 playthroughs in one go. And when you enter New Game Plus, you can stop being so thorough. You can just run through most encounters, most areas, and you just go from boss to boss and try to progress the game as quickly as possible. Maybe not as a speedrun per se, but it's very, very different to do a playthrough of a game versus just, hey, I'm in New Game Plus and I just want to see the different endings, so let me just run through. So I wouldn't really consider that as having played it 5 times. To me, I've played this game maybe 2.5 times, this being my 2nd time, basically, or my 2.5 time or whatever. So I don't think so. I mean, also, even with you saying that, I have, since I've played Sekiro, gone back and played through Dark Souls, I think 3 times, through Dark Souls 2, 1.5 times, through Dark Souls 3, I think 4 or 5 times, and through Elden Ring 3 times. Yet Sekiro I hadn't played at all in the entire meanwhile. Oh, also Bloodborne 2 more times. So I have played all of the Souls games repeatedly ever since Sekiro came out, but not Sekiro. Yeah, I play these games a lot. I really like the Soulsborne series. It's one of my comfort games, basically. Like, if I don't know what to play, I just feel bad, I want to play a game, I might pop in some Dark Souls. There's nothing wrong with some Dark Souls, basically. So I play the series a lot, and especially when it first comes out, I usually play a new game quite a bit in one go. Like, it's just less replay value because you have less different variations in how you want to play this game. Like, this focus on making you have one character with a very specific sort of style and a very narrow set of tools is great because the tools work great and the playstyle works great and is very refined. There's no weapons in this that are like janky or imbalanced or whatever the fuck, because it's all streamlined for one sort of experience. And that, however, makes it so that if you play it again, you're just going to get roughly the same experience again, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. To re-say it for the 8th time now, I think. Yeah, just overall, less replay value in this than the other Souls games. I mean, the magic systems in those games is what it is, right? You partake in it and you exploit it if you want to. Funnily enough, my recent Elden Ring playthrough, I did actually play as a mage, and while I still ended up fighting most things in melee because that's just how my brain is wired, when I experimented with some of the crazy magic shit, or even some of the strong weapons, like I hadn't used Moonveil ever, and then I was picking up the Moonveil and was fucking around with it, and I two-shot some of the fucking bosses that were coming up. I was like, what the actual motherfuck is this? Like, it is ridiculously strong. So, I don't know. You can do that if you want to, and I am not judging anyone for doing that. It's very fun to just blast a boss to absolute pieces, or to just use the tools that you have to take a situation that is stacked against you and instead turn it in your favor. That's fine with me. But basically, Sekiro doesn't allow you to do that as much as what it boils down to, since we're mostly talking about Sekiro. I also don't want to go into too much detail, actually, about Elden Ring, because there's people present who haven't played it. I'm just rambling about my thoughts on the game because I have nothing else really to do, and this was a very short stream. I'll probably hop into the boss rush in a second. But yeah, not really the sort of game I tend to go back to and play, but I always remember my first playthrough very fondly, and it's pretty fun to watch other people's first playthroughs of this, in my opinion. Not so much for the discovery period, because while there is some of it, there are better games for that sort of experience, but even just the way they struggle with different bosses or encounters, the ways they figure out how to deal with certain things, what tools they like to gravitate towards, and just the overall experience is very different from person to person, even though the scope is so narrow, which is very fun. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this game is great and cool, but just not as replayable as the Souls games. Right, so we have changed form now. We can change to this guy. The members of a shinobi that once served Ashina. It is accompanied by a debt of gratitude to the one who took his arm and graced him with the name Sekiro. Huh. Weird. I think we'll go back to Wolf. I like Wolf. Right, let's try out this, Oh, we can reflection of foe individual battles as well, I see. Let's try a gauntlet instead and see how that works out. Actually, I'll do the... Oops, I went one too far back. We get another attack upgrade here from having defeated Saint Ishin. One who returns from the great beyond does so at the peak of their prosperity. Ishin coveted strength and all manner of techniques throughout his mortal struggle. He wished for war until his final hour, and that is precisely what he got. Imagine even bringing Bot back from the dead so he can have more war. Seems like perfection for him. Let's do this, I guess. So this is a gauntlet of bosses that we'll be fighting in a row. Guardian Ape into Owl into True Monk. Not sure why that one fits into this lineup. And then we have Genichiro, and then we have likely Ishin, although it doesn't show me, which is kind of interesting. Maybe it's base Ishin, we'll see. Anyway, let's give it a try, why not? It's only been not even 2 hours of stream yet, so let's fuck around with this briefly. I'm not super interested in stuff like boss rushes or whatever in games usually. Not much for the optional game modes and stuff like this, but hey, let's give it a crack. Maybe it'll be fun. Do I want anything specific equipped? We might need an antidote, because this guy will literally shit on us. Oh, let's see how much stock from the Guardian Ape fight, number 1. Well, that did not stick. He did a lot of damage there. I wonder if that's because he actually does more damage here, or that would have otherwise like, basically one-shot me the first time. Alright, he does this. Yeah, I must admit, not much of this fight is apparently stuck around. I like that he keeps doing the same attacks though. Here, we get our first full flinch here. Oh, I thought he was gonna do the thing. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I didn't do the follow-up. Wait. Oh, that hit me on the other side because I accidentally stuck it too far forward. Nah, missed my timing, got pushed. Oh, that still caught me. Damn. I was so far away from that arm, I thought. Oh, I thought it was doing something else. My bad, I lied. I hope I get my Estus back between fights. I doubt it, but oh, that did not suffice to get away from that. Watch. Oh, I turned down the volume earlier. How is it? It's probably still fine for this fight because this fight's very loud. But I turned it down by a lot, so it should be at least a little bit different than what it was before. Let me know if I should turn it up, please. Very fine, right. So I guess the compression just worked overtime before. That still caught me, I call bullshit. Oh, fuck that attack again. I am dead, goodbye. Yeah, Guardian Name is pretty memorable, so it makes sense. Alright, let's try this again. But yeah, one thing this game does with status effect items that I like a lot is that if you use a status cure, like an antidote against poison for example, that will also increase your resistance to poison temporarily. So after I pop an antidote, the next poison does not come quite as easily. And while that's a very small thing that usually doesn't matter that much, I think it's a pretty neat little thing that could also be in the other Souls games in my opinion. Because usually there's like 1 or 2 afflictions per area, and so if you use a cure item, you're probably still gonna be in the area where that debuff will be applied multiple times. Oh, he didn't fart on me, I thought it was gonna do that. No, it's too late for the grapple. I missed an attack, I think. I'm not gonna get the... Oh, no, I gotta get the punch. Very good. I wonder if it's better to do like 2 thrust attacks here, so I don't completely reset his AI. Because if I do too many attacks, he does that roll backwards and we reset, but I think I might want to be closer to him instead of resetting. Like, maybe I get more damage than if I don't do that. I'm surprised that didn't hit me. That kind of went right from my body. One thing I might want to see for a fight like this, if I was designing it, and I wasn't trying to make it just like very arcadey, is probably give the fight a bit of exhaustion phase here and there. Because realistically, looking at his behavior, it's very like hyperactive and insane. This guy would use a shit ton of energy just doing what he's doing, right? So maybe giving him the odd moment of downtime where he's just recovering and you get the opportunity to wail on him for a bit, or maybe he slows down for a little bit while he recovers, sort of like an exhaust thing in Monster Hunter would probably work pretty well here. Because again, he is going completely apeshit. Yeah, I wasn't suggesting that as like a realistic thing, more as a, hey, this would be a nice synergy between gameplay and hyperactive, tough boss fight. Just because of how over-the-top crazy he goes with a lot of his attacks and movements, you know? Like how he even slams the ground while he's dashing away and that sort of shit. Like, almost nothing he does isn't also some wild flaily attack sort of thing. I got pretty lucky there. I will not hydrate right now, sorry. I'll do it after the fight. Oh, let's see. I was pondering if I could actually get away with the hydrate there. Well, you get your hydrate, just not in that exact moment. It doesn't say there, oh, I will drop whatever the fuck I'm doing to immediately hydrate. Fuck's sake, I still can't dodge this reliably. Maybe I should just run away like I used to. I thought if I try to time my dodge correctly that shouldn't be a big issue. Okay, so he still staggers even if I do the thrust attack, so I probably can't really prevent that. I am stupid, I was looking at chat. I thought I was like, yeah, we're resetting, this is fine. But no, he runs up and does his crap, which he always does, so I'm just being completely dumb. Oh, I was pretty far flyways from that. Okay. I wanted to try that after the second one. I'm assuming that the game will not give me my health and my extra lives back, like my healing and my extra lives back between fights. So I'm assuming I should try to do this a little bit more cleanly. Hope you heard that, because that was the hydration, not scammed. Where am I going? Maybe it should put you right back into a menu where you just need like 1 or 2 button presses to retry him. Or maybe it should ask you after the fight, hey, wanna retry, rather than sending you back out. Consumables used during reflection or godless strength are replenished upon returning to reality. As reflection is wholly within the mind, resources may be used freely. Okay, so it asks me, or encourages me to use consumables. Fair enough. I'm not gonna do that, I don't think. I'll just fight this normally. Maybe it's not fucking up quite as much. Although then I'm not fighting it normally anymore. Ayo. Also, that was not talking about restoring consumables between fights, and more talking about if I use, for example, an antidote, that will not take from my stockpile, so I don't need to fear running out of stuff. I can just try this freely. I'm glad that that didn't hit me, because I was being a little bit cheeky there. Okay, let's not brain AFK and actually run away from a potential grab attack. Game, that's not where I'm... Yeah, let's go back to running away from that. Seems more reliable. Bright pink ass. I don't know why, it just looks kinda silly. Let's see. That almost killed me. thrust right at us. It's bad, very good. Okay, I should not parry those attacks and instead just try to get out of dodge like I used to. "3D version of a 2D cube" sounds like a lot of what people tell themselves about their waifus. Like, oh, real women are just 3D versions of my waifus or whatever. Does Sheila feel comfortable with that? Right, so I usually like phase 2 more than phase 1, like I usually find it a little bit easier. Let's see if this holds true for this as well. His model actually reset as he returned to real life. Or to life, rather. Not real life, thankfully. Like, goddamn. Like, as he came back to life, the physics updated and he was like, look, let's actually fall down. Maybe it was just his fur physics, actually. I don't think it was actually his body floating or anything. Ooh, I was not ready for that. How am I so fucking bad at parrying today? Ow. Can you stop doing this dumbass sweep? Can you stop doing this dumbass sweep? Thank you. Okay, we don't have the follow-up, so we still can't do damage to that afterwards. Okay. That's a shame. Way. Thankfully, you get a good bit of ape practice in this game between this and the double ape fight later, or later from where you first fight him. I completely botched that. I, for some reason, felt like going aggressive there. Don't know that's for worse timing. I actually wonder if you can, when he does that attack, also. Oh, I messed up. Also pull the centipede out of his head, because he leans super far forward during that. Yeah, I can see how the soundtrack has a bit of a One Reborn vibe to it as well. One Reborn doesn't scream though, like the screams, otherworldly though they may be, or unsettling though they might be, literally terror-inducing. Don't quite fit the One Reborn, but yeah, I wonder if I can use the spear on him there as well. I should try that at some point. Oh fuck, he missed his first one, so the timing was good. He keeps missing his fucking attacks, so I can't parry him and bait him into further chains. Oh jeez, oh my. Yeah, this version looks absolutely, or moves absolutely insane, I agree. It's very snaky, centipede-y, sneedly. I keep going to the travel menu because I'm not used to going to those, my bad. Yeah, true. The splashy could well be the fleshy, meaty sounds of the One Reborn. Especially with the fucking corpse rain and dumb shit like that. Can you actually fight me normally for a moment? Thank you. I immediately fuck up. I don't know why I tried to jump over that, I saw that's some sort of sweep, which I didn't. I should not have trouble with this fight. We ended up pretty competent against the Abe when we actually fought him in the campaign. So I didn't expect to struggle this much with this version. But I am fucking up pretty hard. Okay, I'm getting impatient with him doing all sorts of flailing that literally doesn't even reach me if I'm not going into range. So I'm getting overly aggressive and doing shit that I shouldn't be doing, attacking when I shouldn't be attacking, forcing myself to deal with shit that I'm not good at dealing. I keep thinking, hey, maybe I can spear him during this phase already. Wouldn't that be a nice little detail? Imagine if you had like a very small moment during phase 1, where if you hit him with a spear attack, you could literally pull his head off and trigger phase 2 early. How am I too bad to play these? Turns out I was a little bit better at this fight when I was still a little bit more patient. I have taken a lot of unnecessary hits during this phase. I don't know, I think that'd be cool. I mean, everything about this fight is already ow, especially everything to do with phase 2. Don't think there's much that my suggestion could make even more awkward than what's already in the game. I feel like the thrust attacks aren't actually doing that much better. If at all. Oh, I see. Yeah. Like, imagine during that while he's just flailing on the ground, you just thrust him in the head wound, pull out its, like, centipede or something. Hey, good timing. That was pretty good. Can I start this early? Nope. I'm too impatient for this game. Keep missing them. Second hit of that chain is super fast if he misses the first one. It's kind of spooky. I mean, that's... yeah, I guess that's fair. Oh, I am bad. Well, we got to heal and still got this moment. Oh my god, I just did not. There we go. That is so awkward to parry it because of the delays. Alright, Silo. Nah, this is an ape. It says so on the top left. This is what we descended from. That's why we're so weird as well. Oh, we're almost done. I doubt it'll restore my supplies, or maybe just give me a few back or something. For fuck's sake. It is true, yeah. He needs to stop missing me with his fucking flailing. Almost there. There we go. Why do I got these scars? I fought a fucking giant guardian ape monkey, man. Oh wait, what? I can buy spirit emblems here for some reason. Weird. Oh, it's a Shino Castle owl, not a proper owl. I thought it was gonna be father owl. Never mind. Okay. It probably is gonna give me my stuff. Let's find out though. Nope, it does not give me my stuff, of course. Oh yeah, right. No Mikiri, or no thrust attacks. I think I have a pixel. No, I don't. It looked like I had a pixel of health. That was probably just there for the thing magic. Could I rest there? Was there a rest option? Am I that stupid? Was there literally just a rest option and I fucking missed it? Nice. I hope that it turns out that I couldn't have rested and I would have reset the thing. So I'm not quite as much of an idiot. Well, I guess we'll find out next time. Very nice. Yeah, the ape kind of, you know, inferior to monkeys in many ways, many ways, yes, words, England, whatever. No. There you go. I can't believe I actually had a rest option, I just fucking missed it. Because I was curious about the spirit emblem thing, that's the thing I noticed. Well then. Well, clearly we've mastered this fight now, so this should be no problem. How do I reliably dodge that attack? What do you guys do against that attack if you happen to remember? Or if anyone here happens to be really good at this game? Because I just sprint away and hope for the best. I can also sometimes dodge it with just a regular like dash or like just dodging at the right time, but even then it feels unreliable. That was a very long series of him flailing without even moving where his attacks came in. No, it just doesn't show on screen chat anymore for some reason. It broke. The emote is still there. It's still active on my end, but for some reason it doesn't show up on screen chat. I can't tell you why. Yeah, Bethrin was suggesting earlier that there were maybe Streamlabs changed in user license agreement or something that I had to re-accept, and there was actually a change there, so not wrong, but me accepting it was not all that it took to make that not be a problem anymore. Okay, time to find out if we die. Okay, we didn't die. Oh my fucking god. I moved slightly too far forward because I did the thrust attack. I am very annoyed. I am also very dead. Well deserved. I was too busy whinging and being annoyed at that to actually dodge the grab attack. You can probably also sprint laterally. Dodging isn't quite enough because this hitbox is so big and the active frames are too long, but I probably could sprint flatways if I wanted to. I'm guessing these are also balanced for having max health and max attack rather than being tied to your current stats. Ooh. I don't know why I was ready for that attack. Probably because I don't see that attack thing too often from that perspective. The way he wiggles forward while he's lying on the ground flailing, very inconvenient. Because I keep accidentally getting pushed back into the attack once I'm out of it already. It is pretty interesting how for this phase I tend to drain his HP to 0, but for the second phase I actually break his posture. I like that he has a little stagger for when you grapple onto his enormous head. Alright, remember to run away from the grab, run away from the grab, run away from the grab, okay, no grab. The moment I reach the grapple point, I don't know how I got there. From a farting in my general direction. I am so fucking bad at video games, it's perfect. I am late. I'm getting a bit impatient. Need to not do that, because that's a very good way of dying. Little Saga. That message almost killed me, holy fuck. Not that there's anything wrong with you posting a message, just explaining that I happened to see like I was looking at chat anyway, then the message popped up just as I was about to look back at the screen. So I was standing there like, oh hey, that looks like a message that I should be reading, give me a second, monkey, and then I almost got grabbed again. Would have been the tragic insta-death grab too, not even just like, hey, you take some damage, nope, immediately just get completely down. I am so bad. Oh, he didn't kill me. Thank you, Mr. Monkey. Ape, whatever. That ape guy. I was looking at the chat and I had to look back at the screen to then on reaction use the dodge there. I am such a fucking moron, it's impressive. I was earlier talking about how dodging that shit is unreliable, yet here I am. There we go, that should be it. At least we'll pop a pallet in the meanwhile and I can finally reach out for a second. Take me by the hand. Take me, well, slam me to the ground. I don't know, whatever. Okay, those hits don't damage it. It's true, yeah, maybe the Guardian Ape is actually a shadow. Maybe the game is secretly about him, maybe he's the protagonist. I wonder if I actually can scare him there. I'm very tempted to give it a try, but it's probably gonna be hard to time because I'll need to parry his attack first, so I've given the opportunity to do that in the first place. Oh, that was that move, I thought the other one was fine. Yeah, that's a bit slow. Yeah, I thought this was coming. Messing that up. It's not that hard. It's not like I'm missing much by failing that one hit there, but it's a free attack, I want those. People have pointed this out since the dawn of time, but holding your severed head back to your throat so you can yell a terrifying roar that kills people is very metal. Possibly the most metal thing in this game. Don't run away, fight me, bitch. Where the fuck are you going? There we go. Literally one hit. We do get health back for these shinobi executions, which is a neat little touch. Not something that is very relevant usually. Yeah, get fucked, idiot. So, rest. I legit just get to rest here. It doesn't cancel the challenge or anything. Alright then, I was just a massive idiot. Nice. Good. I always knew I was one, but we have video evidence of it once again. It's kind of why I'm streaming, is to just accumulate video evidence of all the ways I've become a massive idiot over the years. Hello. Alright, no thrust attack, that was something that I just told myself. Oh fuck, I was not ready. I didn't think he'd do that in this version of the fight. I think this version of the fight is actually in some ways a little bit harder than the other. That could also just be because I just finished learning the other day, so... I swear I had that. Oh. I am playing very well. died. Oh, never mind, that's just the I can't heal. So I just won't take damage, that's fine. I immediately bait getting Mikiri countered again, and I also take some damage, so I'm absolutely on a roll. Oh, I can't just yet, my bad. For some reason I thought I saw the buff go away, or the debuff rather. I'm gonna try to run for a bit while this is going on. Ooh, thank you for missing. Oh god. Why am I so bad? I need to stop getting guard broken by everything in the game. Not a good trade. I have this on my bar, I need to not have this on my bar. I am struggling so much with this version of the fight. I thought it was gonna be pretty easy after I did the harder one. Guess they really aren't that similar after all. How did I get hit there? Can you... The fuck was that serious? He did that like 6 times in a row or something. Oh my god. Oh well. Let's try the other series for a change. I want to fight the Guardian Ape again first. I don't mind fighting him a few more times ultimately, but maybe not right away. Let's try the Divine Air path. We have Ogyobu, Lady Butterfly, and then something. This is not gonna go well. I am complete ass at this fight. Oi! I don't give a shit about your horse, or you for that matter. Can't see shit, Captain. I don't know, he really introduces himself. At least the Guardian Ape always said Oog, so you know who you were fighting. But this guy probably just doesn't speak Japanese. Fuck you and the horse that you rode in on. Or however that saying goes. Oh, I need to jump, right. Ow. It's true, yeah, I'm not saying that as like a dig. I can't speak Japanese either. I am fucking this up so hard. I'm surprised that didn't hit me, that was very close. Very generous hitbox. Yeah, that is so awkward. That is one of the few areas of the game that somewhat consistently lags, and it's also one of the areas where you might be first baited into fighting a foe that is a little bit stronger than you are, so it just... This is very awkward. Maybe. Oh, I thought I was gonna maybe die at some point. Oh, really? Huh. Ow. Well, I guess love and attention to detail comes at the cost of great FPS. Ow. Yeah. What an idiot, paying for DLC or for mods. I didn't remember his horse actually having a kick attack. I thought we were behind him a lot when we first fought him. And I don't remember the kick, but I might have also just completely forgotten. Nice job running into a tree, idiot. Sorry, I stopped talking shit. Oh, right. I thought you did that only once you run already, but I guess that's just a phase 2 thing. Can I stop sucking ass, please? I need to. Otherwise we might die. I don't want to die. Dying bad. That's the good attack, give me that more. Do I get another one? I do. I swear I parried. Oh no. I cannot believe that that happened. I am so annoyed with myself. Well then. Goodbye. Yobu Oniwa. Don't worry, Genichiro's dead. I saw a funny pun name yesterday. It was called Genichiropractor, or Genichiropractor, however you say that in England. I thought that was pretty funny. Genichiropractor. Right, we rest, haha, because we can do that. I definitely found that out for the first time, so yeah, the horse has had enough. It's seen enough of this shit. It out. Hey, if consumables aren't used, you might actually be able to use snap seeds for this fight. For the first time since the fight was invented, someone was able to actually use snap seeds in the fight that snap seeds were invented for. Unheard of. I have forgotten all there is to forget about this fight, which is a decent amount. Homo hero, the wench. She actually didn't fall from that, huh? Gave me the hits on and everything. Fucking stop breaking my camera. No, I'm dead. Right, I forgot that that was a thing that happened quite a bit on our first time. No, what? She went backwards! She jumped forwards and then scooted backwards in midair. Excuse you? I call trace amounts of bullshit at the very least, if not large amounts of bullshit. Alright, let's do one last attempt at the old Guardian Ape into Owl thing. And then I probably gonna call. Actually, are you streaming today, Mandango? I'm guessing around like 6:15-ish your time, if yes. You will be. So I'd have to tank roughly an hour more. You guys have the interest to watch an hour more of Cube gets fucked by boss fights he's already beaten? Alright then. I guess we'll do an hour more of those. Maybe we'll get one of these runs done. The wiser thing would probably be to go and practice some of these fights individually rather than as part of the boss rush. So I should go back and fight Owl atop the castle once again. To get back into the swing of things. One thing I should be doing though is I want to put the... I don't know if we get the double, but we'll try. I should put the Ichimonji on. There's probably a few instances where you can actually use that, and it does a lot of damage. That was lucky. I think if he does something faster there, I will die. He didn't use a grab again. Got me off guard first. On that one I definitely recover rather fast, so I can get at least one hit of the Ichimonji. Hey, if you're lucky by that point, I'll have moved on to crazy old man with giant sword tries to murder a son. I'm sure that's the sort of vibe that you can match. I'm gonna keep doing the Ichimonji there until I get punished for it, like the double, until I get punished for it. So far we've gotten pretty lucky and I got away with it. Because I think that's a pretty easy and reliable way to inflict a shit ton of posture damage and a good bit of health as well. I don't think I get two there. It did take him a while to recover, but it's probably risky. I was thinking he would stagger at some point soon. He refuses. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, I don't have time to go into the arc from there. It also immediately knocks him over, that's kind of interesting. Fuck, I was reading chat and just autopiloting. Crazy, and there is an old man. Weird, that doesn't quite sound like Tunic or Elden Ring. You must be wrong about what you're streaming on. Nah, that's my fault, it's not your fault at all. Yeah, I think you've chosen the wrong game to stream then, sorry. Are you actually playing Tunic? Sorry for bullying you into doing shit against your will again. I'm very good at that, it seems. Fuck, I'll need to be around then. I hope I don't have a thing. We'll see. Right, Spectre, please. Welcome to... Hey, I've seen this guy die before. And I'm not even talking about myself. Yeah, we're doing the Gauntlet. We finished Ishin earlier. Doesn't even take us too many tries. Does not reach, that's a shame. And so to finish off the stream, we're just doing some boss rush. Fuck, I need to really stop reading chat when I'm low on healing. Okay. Fight first, then random nonsense. Not that what you guys are typing is random nonsense, just me doing random shit is what I mean. Like looking at the chat or scratching my nose or taking a drink. All of that comes after I murder Abe. That Abe guy, hate him. There we go. Oh, having fun, can you imagine? Jesus Christ. Grow up, Boomer. We don't do fun anymore these days. Grow up, Boomer is possibly the dumbest statement I've ever made. Pretty proud of that one. I should probably get a few more hits in there while I'm waiting for him to do the final attack of that chain. Because it's so slow that I can probably hit him like 2 or 3 times. Like right now I can... maybe I can't get more than one, it's a bit risky. Oh, he made the second phase very comfy this time. I mean, as far as comfy as possible, with a giant A being puppeteered by a weird centipede monstrosity. But comparatively, very comfy. Yeah, you were mentioning a bunch of other games the other day, so I'm assuming it's one of those. I forgot some of them though. And I don't want to focus on thinking about that, lest I immediately get murdered again. Speaking of getting immediately murdered again, let's go get murdered by owl. Owl, 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 owl. And then afterwards... let's focus on afterwards. It says Genichiro on the field. Does that mean he will turn into Ishin? Because if so, I'm kind of fucked. We'll see how that goes. Like, the ape turns into his proper form as well. He just sometimes does not stop, does he? Oh, I couldn't recover from the dash on time. Oh, I messed up. He also messed up. I'm not parrying these very cleanly. I'm spamming a lot, so my life is a little bit at risk. Try to recover some posture. Thank you. I think I can always counterattack there after those two. I'm gonna take this thrust attack there, even if on paper it's slightly risky, but if I'm not completely brain AFK, I should be able to get that every time. Like, if anything, I'll be too early rather than too late, so... yeah. I just can't use the thrust on random shit where he might barely recover in time and just kill me out dead. Bit of a waste of a heal there, but I was kind of worried. And I had the opportunity, so I just took it. Not sure why I'm waiting for all 3 strikes there after I just made up my mind that I can probably attack after 2. Yeah, fuck me. I double dashed because I was spamming it from before to recover from the stagger. That's why I hate having to press a button to recover from the stagger. It goes... That hit me, I disagree. Yeah, I was trying to recover from the stagger as quickly as possible, so I was pressing the button multiple times to hit the first possible opportunity. And then instead I got a buffered second dash, which moves me into the sword, which outright kills me. Very good. Ooh, I'm surprised I parried that. I was pretty hard off the timing there for a moment. Yeah, I need to get my rhythm back a little bit. We were doing okay in this fight earlier. Are you serious? Okay, I can't do the counterattack after the third one, because the fourth one comes too quickly. So after 2 or after 4, but never after 3. And probably not after 1. Might not be worth figuring out. That was after 1 and it worked out. Might just be risky. That is a scary ass attack that he does there, and maybe I shouldn't be pressuring him too hard. Because that attack is actually hard to deal with. And very lethal as well. Like, if I fuck that up, I'll just die. So it might look bad that we're not even through the first phase, and I'm already basically out of healing. But it's as bad as it looks. Now on the real side though, it's more about actually learning what I need to do and when and how and whatever. So the fact that I'm doing poorly in phase 1 doesn't mean that much if I learn how to do the fight properly. Because then I won't even need healing for phase 2 all that much. Also, we get an extra life back, so... Nope, not falling for it. Right, so I don't want to tank that stagger because it's kind of spooky, but it's not the end of the world if it does happen. I don't know why I just only carried one there. I did that properly the entire time until that moment. Oh fuck yeah, this thing. Reminder, I unequipped antidotes after the ape fight earlier, because I was like, oh yeah, I won't need antidotes in this fight, that's fine. Little did I know I might need them more in this than in the ape fight. Ooh, I'm glad that didn't catch me. Ooh, that was close. I hate that that lingers. It lingers so long that it cuts part of the arena off, which is very spooky. I don't like when fights do that. Never feels fun to lose because the arena is kind of shrinking due to shit like that. If it's a predictable way of shrinking where like certain parts of the platform just fall or something like that, I think that's fine. But if it's because of an attack, I always feel kind of bad about it. Oh my god, I need to actually function, please. Sorry, I'll reach out in a second. I'm just trying to focus because we might actually have a chance of defeating this time. Yeah, I fucked up. It's gonna happen a few times. I don't think I can really contest that. I've never found a good way of doing it. I guess I could toss a shuriken at him. Well, I'm not even sure let's stagger them. It's a bit too greedy. Not killing me though, which is nice. Okay, 3 is dangerous, I shouldn't do on 3, I keep forgetting. I am playing this really poorly. Kinda lost my groove. Need to recover. I left a lot of damage on the table there for a while. Nope, camera please. Alright. There we go. Oof, I didn't think we'd get there this attempt, but hey, phase 2 turns out to not be as bad as I think. Right, Virtuoso, welcome aboard. We're just fucking around a little bit with the Gauntlet of Strength. Finished the game earlier. So we just try to see how far we can go here. Yeah, my main issue with the Poison Cloud thing is that it creates these areas where, like, let's say I'm fighting him here and he does the Poison Cloud. Suddenly I'm in this part of the map, and to get out I actually have to tank a little bit of the poison. And if that happens twice, I'm almost guaranteed to be poisoned. So it's just, it creates these slightly more awkward scenarios than if we're just fighting out in the open regularly. Yeah, don't abuse poor old me. I have done nothing wrong. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am playing with a controller. I don't think it's that bad to play this with a keyboard and mouse though. Like, I don't think for the sort of inputs this game requires, controller is a major advantage. So I think this should be playable on keyboard and mouse as well. Just as a recommendation for how to do this sort of shit, for a few attempts at a fight, try focusing less on winning the fight and more on, okay, what does the guy do and what are the sort of timings for when I need to press my parry buttons. Treat it a little bit like a rhythm game, where the rhythm isn't like in, let's say, Guitar Hero or Osu or something where you have to press things on the screen, but rather you just press the parry button whenever the timing is correctly. So try to maybe even listen to the timings when the swords clash and sort of thing. Try to figure out that as a pattern and then press it whenever the timing is correct, basically. And from there, it's just normal pattern recognition, like in the other Souls games. I've also played this a lot, so don't look at this and say, oh my god, if this guy's playing it for the first time, then that's like, fucking, I'm so bad. No, I've played this a lot, don't worry, so don't worry too much about it. Shadows get poisoned twice. I'm not sure. If you die, you actually get rid of the status effects, so I guess we do have a chance of getting poisoned twice, yeah. But yeah, I reckon, I'm assuming blocking/parrying is on right mouse button. And if that's true, then it should be pretty decently possible to do this on keyboard and mouse as well. Because pressing right mouse button with the correct timing should be basically the same as pressing the shoulder button on a controller. I imagine camera movement and stuff is a little bit more awkward, and timing dodges, so spacebar, is probably slightly more awkward because the distance is a little bit greater than pressing a side button. Yeah, it sounds stupid, you just keep playing, but yeah, it is true. You just, it's all practice, ultimately, is what it boils down to, just like everything else. I'm also not doing all that well, like, comparing myself to people that I occasionally watch, I am not doing particularly great either, so it's always just depending on who you look to and how much time you spend trying to get this. Hey, nice Spectacles, hope you end up doing it and have fun with it. I think this is a fun game to play every now and then. I usually don't play this much in one go, but when the time is right, I'm down with playing this again. Right, Kojak? That's technically true, but then we come back to life because we cheat, so I think that's fine. Alright, true monk time. Let's hope I don't fall off the platform again. We first tried this guy during the story, so clearly this should be easy now, right? Clearly I won't botch this now that we're in a fucking boss rush situation. Clearly this is going to be easy. Alright, immediately messing up everything. This is going great. That was faster than I remembered. Not sure why I chose to use the pallet specifically. Guess it doesn't really matter that much. I am so fucking trash. How did I... Yeah. Spent too much time sprinting around till I couldn't go into the regular forward dodge. His attacks, or her attacks I think, are a little bit slower than what I'm ready for right now. The warning symbol showed up before she even went into her I am about to thrust you stance, that's kind of interesting. I thought so. Well, GG. Well, that's one way of looking at it, Spectacles. But I mean, that's always gonna be the case. Like, if your standard is I need to be the very best, then you'll have to do a lot of fucking grinding. Well, here we go again. Back to monkey time. Oh, mine bones. Let's actually put the antidote back on the bar, because we might also need it against Owl. There it is. I thought I skipped it already. If only it was twice. We fought this ape quite a lot now. Took me a few tries on the story, and we've already lost a few lives to him on the boss rush as well. I like that the game kind of has coded it so that sweep attacks don't hit you even if you're not actually getting out of the way of the attack, if you're jumping. Like, the game just checks, oh, are you jumping? In that case, you're fine. Because his hand goes literally through my body here sometimes when I'm stuck below him and I'm jumping over the sweep attack. Yet it still doesn't hit me because the game is kind of programmed to say, no, you're jumping, you're fine. Which I think is a very good way of doing it. It's a bit arcadey and looks silly, but I think it's very fair. Still not quite sure how to reliably dodge that. I felt like I was gonna get hit. Really? Oh, I thought I had that one. Well, the uppercut that he does is not actually a sweep attack. Like, it's only officially a sweep attack if it does that warning. And it's probably also not true for all sweep attacks, right? Maybe it's... Some of them, the game's like, nope, you're fine. Some of them, you're like, not fine. How did... Okay, that's the first time that happened to me. But yeah, we'll see the move that you're talking about here in a second. Very likely, it's one of the more commonly used ones. If I'm close to it ever. Let's see. Imagine actually missing a target that's this big. I should stop being so greedy with my attacks and just take the damage that I'm dealing and be happy with that. I didn't think he'd commit to a full throw attack. I thought he was just resetting. My bad. But yeah, exactly. Ultimately, it's all about whether you're having fun or not. You can choose wherever you want to go as long as you're having fun. Then that is the correct amount. At the same time, though, fun is weird. Like, sometimes it might not on the surface appear as though you're having fun, but it might end up in the sort of satisfaction or fulfillment that ends up being worth the sort of struggle to get there. So, for example, while I'm getting slammed repeatedly by these bosses, it might on the surface look like, oh, you're clearly not having fun. Yeah, this one was what I mean, by the way. Like, I am clearly inside of this boss, and that's the uppercut you meant, and that's not a single strike officially. At least I'm thinking that's what you meant. Anyway, I interrupt myself. Like, me struggling against these bosses over and over might not look super fun, but I am enjoying myself because A, I like learning even if it's dumb shit like this, and B, if I'm eventually winning, that's gonna make it all the sweeter, basically. So sometimes you don't have fun for a little bit, but then the payoff is possibly greater, until you get to the point where you're just hating it, at which point you should probably stop. I think I'm just weird with multiplayer games. Like, I enjoy multiplayer games just way too much, to the point where I sometimes struggle to enjoy single-player games. Like, I sometimes feel like single-player games are a waste of my time. If I'm playing them, I'm like, oh, why would I invest my time and effort to get good at this game, which is sort of shallow and doesn't have the sort of possible return on investment that a multiplayer game would have, where I'm actually playing against other people and it's more dynamic. So I don't know. I'm just kind of ruined in that regard, I feel like. I had a game where I thought about that the other day, and I don't remember which example it was. It looks very much like the sweep attack, except it's from the other side, so I get where you're coming from. When I first saw this attack again, when we started fighting this boss rush, I had the same issue where I looked at that and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump over it. Like, literally the first time we had it in this boss rush, I can't say boss rush anymore, words are just kinda optional, I guess. But yeah, on the first attempt at the boss rush, I had the exact same thing where I saw that and I was like, I'm going to jump over it, and then I had to block it in the air, because thankfully I jumped early enough that I had time to recover. So I absolutely understand that mistake. Maybe I'm meant to grapple onto the trees whenever he starts finding that up. I wonder if he can snap you out of the ground, out of the air, or if he always targets the ground. It has a lot of recovery on it as well, as I learned earlier. So I should probably not overuse it. It's just such a good punish, like this does so much posture and health damage. Big mana's down. It's funny you should say that, because DBD is so oversaturated with streamers, both in terms of viewership as well as actually just people that stream as well. Like, people stream and watch that game so fucking much, it's actually crazy. To be fair, I'm also setting myself up for anger though, when I play DBD, playing frustrating characters, playing in ways that are more frustrating and focusing on things that are also more on the frustrating side often. Kinda set myself up for negativity in that regard. What the fuck? I didn't... Wow, he hasn't done that at all today, has he? Like the, oh, you parried me, I'm gonna blow into my head now. I almost missed the timing. I don't quite agree with that take. I wouldn't be playing a game like DBD or this or whatever if the occasional anger doesn't also lead to like joy or satisfaction. Like, if it was just, oh, this game makes me very fucking angry. Oh, that's what you mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, the game is also played a lot, so it's not like people just watch the game. It's a very popular game. I think watching it is comfy because you get to vicariously experience all the stupid shit that always happens on DBD. Like, DBD is one of those games where there's always gonna be weird shit happening, so it makes for entertaining content. And at the same time, you are yourself shielded from the frustrations and the disappointments, the issues, the anger, whatever the fuck you might experience. So it's a very safe but good way of enjoying DBD without the downsides. 1 second. Missed the fucking attack again. I hate that I still don't do that consistently. Scanning everyone over there 200 channel points today by delaying dehydration. Delaying dehydration. How is that not enough to kill you? Please, at some point, die. I fucking messed up. And I get completely killed for it. Good. Good job, me. I was getting so impatient with him just doing this awkward shuffle instead of giving me something where I can actually finish this fight. Oh, I messed up again. Please work anyway? Nope, it doesn't work from this angle. Oh, could this fight drag out in any more annoying ways, please? Alright, can we please be done with this? Thank you. At least I didn't choke it. Alright, here's the hydration. What a messy fucking end to this one. Right, time to get punched by my dad. It's not even my real dad. Oh, itchy nose. Man, of course I die immediately to the fucking monk, because I haven't fought him in a while and this is actually pretty difficult as a boss rush, because you don't have that much opportunity to settle into the rhythm for each and every one of these individual fights. Like, obviously they all play slightly differently, so even something as simple as just parrying the basic attacks and the sort of tempo of each fight is just noticeably different between all of them. Like, I felt super comfortable playing against the monk earlier, when we did that in the story. Like, I was actually very happy with how well I was doing, because I had practiced him before, coincidentally, when we did the other version of him, like the corrupt version. So that practice paid off in spades in the true form, and I was very pleased with myself, because a lot of the difficult shit that the monk does, we actually dealt with very well. So, of course, now that it's been a while, and we've done a lot of other shit that I had to learn and focus on, that has left my brain. Need to reset here. There you go. I should not attack him early there, because if I do cancel his little bomb throw, then that follow-up attack kinda kills me while I need to still move away from the bomb. The fact that he can chain that so much is actually really bad. If you're ever like under a lot of pressure from him and you're not getting control of the fight back, he will just maul you until you die. Pretty spooky. Most bosses usually give you a little bit of timing here and there. Or a little bit of time here and there to recover. That was really spooky. I dodged a little bit early. Oh, my bad. I hesitated a lot there. I should have died for that, or could have at least died for that. I couldn't have complained, really. I'm fighting this really poorly, especially after how well we did on phase 2 last time. Really? I was out of range. Oh my fucking god. I really should have just done what I always did. I was gonna try to walk up and hit him regularly because the dash attack is so slow that he often parries it, or blocks it at least. So I wanted to try and walk up for a regular attack because it's faster. But why do I keep going into the trouble thing? Fuck. Yeah, walking up and trying that was not the right idea, especially not at that sort of time. Sunshine. Ooh, we got the stagger. No pull up this time though, because I was still in recovery from there. I see now what the man back was streaming. Combo again. We'll go take a visit soon. I'll do one. Well, depending on how far we get, I'll do a little bit longer. I wonder if I can bait him into always going for the throw by holding block there, actually. Maybe his AI is scripted to like go for the throw if I'm blocking. Because that would at least like make reasonable sense. I'm getting really good at predicting when he's actually gonna do the fart cloud thing. I think I'm right 9 out of 10 times at this point. If I parry that attack fairly far on the side, it'll knock me back so far that I'm in no danger of getting it from the other side, which is pretty good. being pretty fast right now, which is very awkward. Guess I do need a little bit of a break. Guess that's my break. 100% success rate so far. On the bait throwaway holding block. It would make sense since throw counters block, that the AI would be at least slightly more likely to do a throw if you're holding block. But it still makes the sound even though you're not actually jumping off of it if you do the jump thing low enough. Pretty funny. Oh wow, I didn't realize that was much. See if this works. That didn't reach. I think I tried this before actually. Just stop fucking up. Way. I'm very close this time. Nah, still doesn't reach. He missed his fucking follow-up, so instead of his chain continuing and me getting possibly the win there, he just reset and we keep going. Yay! Hey, we even got the follow-up hit into Stagger. Nice. That was a very clean Guardian 8 fight overall. We used 2 pallets, which is not a lot. Let's follow this with a very clean owl fight. Wouldn't that be nice? There isn't that much of a reason for me not to get a really clean owl fight as long as I'm focused and just don't mess up too much. Because we figured out most of the attack patterns at this point, and I have an idea for what I want to do with anything that's slightly more annoying. So it really is just down to executing correctly. There's basically no surprises in this. I have a plan for everything, so it's just actually putting that plan into action without fucking up too much. Again, the fact that he can just chain that apparently indefinitely, or at least very long, is pretty rude, honestly. Like, it's uncharacteristically tough for the sort of fight this is. Very Elden Ring of the game, so just give bosses the ability to keep going if they want to. I guess one of the major reasons why this fight is taking so long is that we don't get many opportunities to actually do health damage to him, and he plays so defensively that his posture is usually near 0 until he's very low. So you can't like burst him down by just parrying enough to get his posture to explode. There are brief moments where this sort of shit happens, but then he eventually resets and we go back to 0. Like, it's already decreasing again. Jump away. Oh fuck, I'm dead. I felt a little bit awkward about doing that from the side, so I didn't want to commit too hard to the punish. Missed my timing for the first attack there for some reason. Like, this was a pretty long stretch right now where we didn't do any health damage to him, and the posture damage is probably gonna recover, especially if he chooses to play more defensively for the next bit. I had to cancel my thrust attack there because I missed the landing again, so it's gonna be late and get stunned. And then we have this series where I do actually manage to build up a lot of posture damage, as long as I don't fuck this up the moment I say it. Oh fuck, this did not play out according to plan, my bad. This is actually my bad as well. Can't really complain about the plan not working if I'm not adhering to my own plan. I don't know why I parried there instead of doing my regular punish. I guess he's pretty close to being done. He actually gave us that, that's nice. He's been playing very defensively otherwise, so I'm surprised he did that. Bonk. 9 headbutts the floor with great vigor. That actually connected, fuck. Oh fuck, that was a fast attack. Well, I have a good strategy of getting rid of that debuff if all else fails. It's called dying, it gets rid of all of your debuffs. Fuck, I fucked up. Like I said, strategy. Dying gets rid of debuffs. I hate when he does the really quick attack during the smoke, that's actually pretty spooky. You can usually sort of see it coming as long as the camera is playing along, but it is pretty scary to deal with. Yeah, I missed my timing. Ooh, I messed up. It's pushing me across the entire fucking arena, it's not good. I didn't want to commit to that because I was far away and I was afraid that he might recover and counter me and kill me. Pretty bad series here for me, but we might be able to get back into the swing of things now that we have full HP. I should stop with the going one way then dashing the other way thing. Kinda messes with my timing a bit. Oh, I'm bad. I'll have a drink just for safety instead of hitting them, even though that's one of my better damage opportunities. Select the fire, or the, not firecrackers, the shurikens and see if we can actually knock him out of that. Speaking of knocking him out of that. That was just about the worst thing that could have happened there. Oh, I have that on my bar, I'm stupid. Oh well. He got stuck on the thing in the ceiling, that could have actually messed me up. I am playing this so poorly now. Okay, one more reset, now we can go back into the fight, everything is fine. It goes back according to plan. Gonna heal him. That's fine with me. Or posture recover, but his health is so low that even if he does that a few times, that won't hurt me. Just needed to get out of the poison. Pretty good series of his there to try and keep me pinned in the corner and kill me. Like that was just about the best thing he could have done there. He did nothing afterwards, that's kind of odd. There we go. Oof, I almost choked the second half of this fight so fucking hard. There were so many instances where I kinda died, but then managed to barely survive. Like, I threw pretty hard and lost control of the fight, but then hung in barely to avoid death every time. So now we went from, I think second phase was 7 Estus or something, down to 0, which is not how that's supposed to go. Alright, let's not fuck this up this time. Remember, brain, these attacks are a lot slower than you're expecting. Just chill and go with the flow. The flow is not that difficult against this boss. Just gotta chill the fuck out. Oh, the double fuck. That didn't catch me once on the other fight, it's kinda interesting. Oh! How did I? I swear I parried that. Right, that's the side one that is much slower. That is the overhead one that is much faster. What the fuck happened there? I knocked her out of her sweep, that's weird. I didn't even think that could happen. Actually, I think that happened before, didn't it? Anyway. That was a lot of health lost for not the hard part of the fight. So I guess you don't know what's happening. She's turned into some fog, weird mist thing for a bit there, and well, that's happening. She sends out weird shadows to attack you. The easiest way to avoid that is to just jump around on the trees. You can make that pretty consistent as long as you don't accidentally fall off, which definitely did not happen to me before. Thought that was the double again, so I was a bit panicky there. That is the double, okay. Ooh, the follow-up. I thought she was gonna thrust. There's also a way where you can... I don't know if that was a bug that got patched or something, but there was a way you can reset the fight during that phase so that when she reappears you get a death blow or something like that. Like you can jump death blow her or something. Which, to me, always felt intended because like she has 3 health bars for some reason, and I don't know why. It doesn't feel like the sort of fight that needs 3 health bars. I cancelled my attack to parry, she cancelled her attack to parry, very good. We're on the same ass. It's awkwardly slower than the other overhead. That is also awkwardly slow, Jesus Christ. She didn't do her signature move yet at all, the Beyblade move. I fucked up. Damn it. Really? We're doing this again? That hit me, food. Close, very close. Fuck's sake. I actually got pretty unlucky there. I tried to jump onto that tree like I normally do, but it locked onto the tree slightly further over, the lower one. And whenever that happens, there's a pretty good chance I just die immediately. Because from there, it takes me a little bit longer to recover and get back to the other side of the bridge. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping to win that fight. Ugh. I'm not gonna do another attempt. I was considering it because I got pretty comfortable with the ape fight and the owl fight, so I'm not super far off from getting deeper into this challenge, but I didn't really care too much. I just added that on because I wanted to stall for some time while Manbango goes home and starts streaming, so we can raid him now. And watch yourself some Manbango, who is doing some poker, if I'm not mistaken. He's playing Poker Night at the inventory, so let's go and do a bit of a raid, if I saw that correctly at least. Let me not talk massive shit and actually check before I commit to absolutely nothing. There you go. Right, man has taken a self-proclaimed, at least, trip to the inventory, so we'll meet him there and enjoy ourselves some random banter. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you had fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna include this last part in the stream VODs or not, like in the uploads on YouTube. I might cut that out and just end it after the credits and shit, because this was kind of just a more for fun for a stream thing too. Because I just enjoy the game some more, talk about it, stall for some time. But yeah, see you next time with something else, because we're done with Sekiro. Goodbye.